about the history of English language. More people are trying to learn English than other languages in the world. English is a language of political negotiation and international business. It has become the international language of science and medicine. International treaties say passenger airplane pilots must speak English. English is a major foreign language taught in schools in South America and Europe. School children in Philippines and Japan begin learning English at an early age. English is the official language of more than 75 countries including Britain, Canada, the United States, Australia, and South Africa. In countries in countries where many different languages are spoken, English is often used as an official language to help people communicate. India is a good example. Where did the English language come from? Why it became so popular? To answer this question, we must travel back back time about 5,000 years to an area north of the Black Sea in in south in southeastern Europe. Experts say the people in that area spoke a language called Proto-Indo-European. That language is no longer spoken. Researchers do not really know what it sounds like. Yet, Proto-Indo-European is believed to be the ancestor of most European languages. These include the languages that become Ancient Greek, Ancient German, and Ancient Latin. Latin disappeared as a spoken language, yet it's behind the three great languages that become modern Spanish, French, and Italian. Ancient German became Dutch, Danish, German, Norwegian, Swedish, and one of the languages that developed into English. The English language is a result of the invasions of the island of Britain over many hundreds of years. The invaders lived along the northern coast of Europe. The first invasions were by a people called Angles about 1,500 years ago. The Angles were a German tribe who crossed the English Channel. Later, two more groups crossed to Britain. They are the Saxons and the Jutes. This group found a people called the Celts, who had lived in Britain for many thousands of years. The Celts and the invader fought. After a while, most of the Celts were killed or made slaves. Some escaped to live in the areas that became Wales. Through the years, the Saxon, Angles, and Jutes mixed their different languages. This results in what is called Anglo-Saxon or Old English. Old English is extremely difficult to understand. Only a few experts can read the earliest form of English. Several written works have survived from the Old English period. Perhaps the most famous is called Beowulf. It's the oldest known English poem. I should say it was written in Britain more than 1,000 years ago. The name of the person who wrote this who wrote is not known. Beowulf is the story of a great king who fought against monsters. He was a good king, well, well liked by his people. A new book by Thomas Henry tells this ancient story in modern English. The next, the next great invasion of Britain came from the far north beginning about 1,100 years ago. These people called Vikings raided the coast area of Britain. The Vikings came from Denmark, Norway, and other northern countries. They were looking to capture trade goods and slaves and take away anything of value. In some areas, the Vikings became so powerful they built temporary bases. These temporary bases sometimes become permanent. Later, many Vikings stayed in Britain. Many English words used today came from the ancient Vikings. Words like sky, leg, skill, help, crawl, live, and take are the form of old languages of the far northern countries. The next invasion of Britain took place more than 900 years ago, in 1066. History experts call the invasion of the Norman conquest. William the Conqueror led in. The Normans were the French-speaking people from Normandy in the north of France. They became the new rulers of Britain. This new ruler spoke only French for several hundred years. It was the most important language of the world at that time. It was a language of educated people. But the common people of Britain still spoke Old English. Old English took many words from the Norman French. Some of them include damage, prison, and marriage. Most English words that describe law and government come from North Norman French. Words such as jury, parliament, and justice. The French language used by the Norman rulers greatly changed the way English was spoken by 800 years ago. English became what language experts call Middle English. As time passed, the ruling Normans no longer spoke true French. Their language had become a mix of French and Middle English. Middle English sounds like modern English, but it is very difficult to understand now. Many written works from this period have survived. Perhaps the most famous were written by Geoffrey Chaucer, a poet who lived in London and died there in 1400. Chaucer was the most famous work is Canterbury Tales, written more than 600 years ago. Em thấy em xong rồi. Em thấy em xong rồi ạ. Em thấy em đọc xong rồi ạ. Đấy. Thầy ơi, em đọc xong bài rồi ạ.